The strange snake. Long ago, before the arrival of foreigners and before the cities were populated, there was a village called Mavuno, surrounded by forests with strange animals and rivers full of large fish. This village was rich in fertile land, and its people were known for their hard work in agriculture. But despite their wealth of food and crops, there was a great secret that hid fear in their hearts: the strange snake. According to the elders of Mavuno, every 7 years, this snake with a golden body and eyes that shone like coals of fire emerged from a deep cave in the forest. No one saw him up close and returned to the village to tell, but the people knew that every time he appeared, one of them disappeared without explanation. There are stories told that this snake had the ability to speak like a human, and that his voice was so sweet that anyone who heard him was like someone under a spell. They forgot everything and followed him into the forest without returning. As the time of his arrival approached, the people of Mavuno held a great ritual. They gathered in the field, slaughtered large goats and cattle, spilled blood and sang ghost songs in the hope that the snake would pass without taking any of their people. Everyone was afraid that night, and the doors of all the houses were closed early. But this year, things were different. In the village of Mavuno lived a brave young man named Jabali, the son of a big old man. Jabali was as strong as a lion and had the courage to fight against anything. He grew up disgusted by the village's fear and often said, "If it's just a snake, why don't we hunt it down and kill it?" But every time he said that, the people scolded him. You shouldn't talk about the strange snake in a sarcastic way. You can bring disaster." The village elders warned him. On the day of the great ritual, Jabali decided that he would not sit and be afraid like other people. He prepared himself quietly, took his sharp sword, and before dark, he went into the forest to hide near the cave of the strange snake. As night fell, a strong wind began to blow. The branches trembled, the wild birds made strange cries, and suddenly, a strange voice was heard from inside the cave. "Human, why have you come here?" The mountain felt his spine tremble, but he did not retreat. He gripped his sword tightly and said, "I have come to see you, strange snake. The people of my village have lived in fear for many years. I want to know why." A strange laughter was heard from the cave, and then a golden light shone from within. Slowly, the snake's long body began to emerge from the cave. The mountain took a deep breath, preparing for anything. "You want to know? Then go inside, see the truth," the snake said in a gentle but authoritative voice. Jabali held his sword tightly, his body trembling not only with fear, but with the excitement of wanting to know the truth. He looked at the strange snake with sharp eyes, but he felt some strange force pulling him into the cave. The snake was huge beyond description. Its scales were like polished gold, sparkling in the faint moonlight. Its eyes, red as coals of fire, looked at Jabali with terrifying calm. "If you have true courage, enter," the snake said in a soft but deep voice. Jabali took the first step, then another, until he entered the cave. As soon as he was inside, the cave's entrance was suddenly covered and darkness reigned. Jabali felt as if he had entered another world. The cave was vast beyond description, with walls covered with strange writings and ancient drawings. Ahead of him, he saw a blue light shining on a large stone. The strange snake twisted his body and said, "The people of your village are afraid because they do not know the truth. They think I am a deadly beast, but I am the keeper of the secrets of this world." Jabali was surprised. "What secrets are these?" The snake took a deep breath and said, "I am here to protect something very important, the stone of life. Everyone who has ever come here and listened to me has been given a choice. He can leave with peace of mind or try to take this stone and receive an eternal curse." Jabali looked at the snake in surprise. Their village lived in fear of this beast, but he was responsible for protecting a strange treasure. Jabali walked up to the shining stone. He felt a strong force pulling him to touch it, but an inner voice warned him not to do so. Asterisk, if you are truly a keeper of secrets, why have the people of the village been disappearing? Asterisk, Jabali asked. The snake rolled over and said sadly, Asterisk, those who were lost came with greed. They wanted to take this stone by force, thinking it would give them eternal life or great power. But this stone is not taken by force. It decides for itself who is worthy. Asterisk. Jabali paused and thought. He knew that in their village people were used to fear, but now he understood that their fear was born of ignorance. The snake looked at Jabali and said, Asterisk, I see you are different. You can be a messenger of truth to your people. But before you leave, you must choose. Will you take this stone and carry its burden, or will you leave with the wisdom you have gained? Asterisk. Jabali felt the weight of the decision. He looked at the stone, then at the snake. Finally, he decided. Jabali stood silently before the stone of life, thoughts racing through his mind. He knew that taking the stone could bring him great power or eternal damnation. He could feel a strange pull pulling him to touch it, but an inner voice told him, not every treasure is worth taking. He looked at the strange snake, who still curled up next to him, his red eyes watching him intently. I have decided, Jabali said firmly. Asterisk, I will not take the stone. Instead, I will return to my village and tell my people the truth. It is better for them to live with understanding than with unfounded fear. Asterisk. The strange snake seemed to smile, though his serpentine face showed no clear emotion. You have made the right choice, Jabali, the snake said. Asterisk, many have come before you, desiring power, but they were lost in their desires. You have chosen wisdom over power, and for that, I will reward you. Asterisk. Suddenly, a golden light filled the cave. Jabali felt his body overflow with new strength. He realized that his eyes could now see the darkness clearly. His ears could hear even the slightest sound of the wind, and his mind was filled with new knowledge. Return to your people, the snake continued, Asterisk, and lead them with courage and truth. Tell them to stop being afraid of what they do not understand. And above all, tell them that not every scary story is true. Asterisk. Jabali nodded respectfully, then turned and walked out of the cave. As soon as he left, the cave door slammed shut, and when he looked back, there was no sign that there had ever been a cave there. Jabali walked all night until he reached the village of Mavuno. When morning came, he stood in the middle of the village square and called everyone together. I have met the strange snake, he told them. Asterisk, and I have learned that the danger you fear is not real. The snake is not a man-eating animal, but a guardian of the secrets of our world. Those who were lost were people ruled by desire, not victims of cruelty. Asterisk. The villagers were surprised, some finding it hard to believe, but Jabali continued to tell them everything he had learned. Gradually, they began to understand and see that their fear was the result of ignorance. A few months later, life in Mavuno changed. There was no longer any fear of the dark nights. People were at peace, and young people began to explore the forests without fear. Jabali was respected as a village hero, and his wisdom made the people live more courageously. But when he asked himself, should I go back to the cave again, he smiled and said, Asterisk, no, I don't need to. I have found something more valuable, wisdom. Asterisk. The end.